eyewitness accounts from people who were in that rocket factory. This is not disputed stuff that he did that. And, you could say he was just a rocket maker. He had nothing to do with that, but he was a Nazi. And we had in charge of and now it's just one moon faking. Not just one of them, but one of that before he died, he was that the government is planning on faking an alien invasion. So the guy who faked the moon landing, he said that. He said that the neck. What's the evidence of that? That he said that? Well, his secretary said, "Oh, that bitch might be crazy." You never know. She might be doing coke, making stories up. She might be she seems sincere to me. She might be trying to. They said they're going to be an asteroid threat next, followed by a fake alien invasion. That's what he said. And keep in mind, these Apollo astronauts who spent their whole life lying, saying the moon landings are real, are also the key people who are saying UFOs are real. And so not number key people. Well, but Edgar Mitchell was one of them. And Robert Emmenegger made films, propaganda films to plant the seed that UFOs are real, and he was at Cannon Air Force Base when they faked the moon landing. Okay, can I assume that then, Bob, what you're saying, that you don't think UFOs are real at all? No, they are real, but they're not from outer space. So what about the ones that Kenneth Arnold saw in the 1950s? What I don't know about those. So this is the first. I think UFOs are real, but they're not from outer space, according to the top 2 UFO researchers. I have a book coming out, hopefully in time of this podcast, Aliens from Planet X, that talks about their origin and future appearance. And UFOs are real and aliens are real, but they're not from outer space. And that's according to the top 2 UFO researchers after decades-long research. So go to Sabrel.com, and so where do they accept that every single time they're not from outer space? They're interdimensional and potentially fallen angels, disguising themselves because they're liars. Of something, like you said, can't be proven or disproven. I'm from this galaxy, 300 light years away. Well, this is kind of what Tucker Carlson thinks. He thinks there's a spiritual element to it, and he thinks they've always been here, and he thinks that this is what's kind of documented in the Bible as like good and evil, and that's it exactly. I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, the top 2 UFO researchers said UFOs are real, number 1. Number 2, they're not from outer space. And number 3, they're demonic. And that's what I talk about. It talks about fallen angels interbreeding with humans, as talked about in Genesis 6, and creating a race called Nephilim, who were men of renown, world leader. Could you interpret that as when you say interbreeding with humans? Now, imagine if what they are is a form of artificial intelligence, or I should say, instead of artificial is a word that it's got a lot attached to it already. Maybe digital intelligence, or a human-created intelligence that's not of biological origin, but it is a living thing. It's just living in a different kind of way. Now, if that is something that human beings are eventually going to, we're going to have some symbiotic relationship with electronic that's biological. You're seeing it already with Neuralink. You're seeing how this guy who was paralyzed can now utilize a computer and manipulate everything with his mind. He can move a cursor around. You're seeing artificial intelligence come to the forefront, where people are realizing the power that it has and how quickly it's developing. It's happening very rapidly. Within this year, it's kind of confusing people. When laws of our primate DNA, it doesn't have but does it have a soul? Like, are we creating a thing without a soul that has a mandate and has it has plans for the universe and for life forms? And would that kind of be demonic? It seems like that's demonic. I mean, if you want to be real simple about demons, you think they live in hell and they got pitchforks, but what kind of force would a demonic force be? Something that would overpower the human race and render it non-existent. Well, wouldn't one way to do that would be to integrate with humans to the point where it makes biological reproduction a thing of the past. All reproduction is done through either some sort of complicated gene splicing program, or life and consciousness gets integrated with technology inextricably, so where everybody is some sort of a hybrid system. Well, there is a spiritual component, including to the moon landing. I mean, you've seen a funny thing happen on the way to the moon. Right. It opens up with the Tower of Babel, which was built simply to boast we have the tallest building. And then we show the Titanic that says the ship that God himself could not sink. And we know what happened there. Tower of Babel never finished. Titanic never made one voyage. And then Richard Nixon, when he knew they were not on the moon, said putting a man on the moon is the greatest event since creation itself. You know, ironic, when I popped in that tape of the window shot and then realized they really did fake the moon landing, that was the first one that really cemented it. Absolutely. I gave him the benefit of the doubt as long as possible. Okay, I want to go to the flag, because the flag is a piece of